Hello and welcome to the Real Exes of Portland podcast, coming to you from Portland, Oregon. I'm Heather.
I'm Sofie.
And I'm Amy.
And we are real women, real friends with real stories.
That are super juicy.
And I might add, real boobs. And we would love for you to follow us on Instagram at The Real Exes Portland. And we will be hanging out with you guys every Wednesday afternoon.
And you know what Wednesday is?
Wine Wednesday.
Cheers.
Guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. We are the Real Exes of Portland. And actually, you probably already know that because that's in our pre-recorded intro, if you haven't figured that out. But I'm, as usual, my normal state, having a struggle. And so here I'm chiming us in, and we are going to have a great podcast for you today. And we're so happy that you guys are back. And we just heard a weird noise in the house. Sorry. We had to do a double take.
Oh, it's the garage door.
We're having a haunting here this evening. But anyway, so yeah, today we're going to be hearing from mainly the infamous Sofie Pie, Sofie Lala, Sofiness, Sofie something.
Sofie.
Sofie.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Engraved on my Dylan bottle.
On her water bottle. It's the company smelled. They smelled her name wrong.
On my engraved it. It's like not a sticker.
On,
it's an engraving.
Yes.
And it's Sofie.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie WALL-E?
No.
Oh, you got to see. It's a kid's movie, but there's a little robot who talks and eats. Like everything is he. And so that would be perfect. He would. Yeah.
All right.
I remember that movie, the name of it, but you know what? It didn't really spark my interest, so I never saw it. But I remember when it came out. No, it's a robot, like an R2-D2.
Oh.
Yep, it's a little cartoon, and he's actually really cute. I could watch that movie by myself. It's actually really cute.
Well, so yes, we thought today we would talk a little bit about some hormone therapy. And this is Heather. I'm going to be going, hopefully, for some of this therapy soon because Lord knows I need it and a long time ago. But Sophie's actually had some experience with this. So she was going to talk a little bit about it.
And I've been talking to you about it a lot.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I finally made a flipping appointment, okay?
Yeah.
It took her
a bit.
8 months.
Shit. Now, everyone that listens to this podcast, I probably sound like I'm always like goofy and funny and cheerful. Well, I'm not, okay? Watch out, bitches. I'm coming for you. No, just kidding. But no, so the first step is admitting you have a problem, okay?
Hello.
Okay.
My name is Heather.
I've made the admittance and I've made the appointment. That's all the farther I've got.
has.
Okay, guys?
Yay.
Woo! And I can hardly wait.
Important.
The wine isn't really working anymore.
Oh my God.
Okay, Sofie, take it away.
Well, where to start? Mm-hmm. I mean, even like to think about my hormonal journey or even my reproductive journey.
Yeah.
I had regular periods as growing up, but I got my period at 10 years old.
Oh, that's kind of young.
10 years old.
I mean, I know nowadays it seems like the girls are having them younger, but I feel like back in our day, maybe
How old are you
it
when
wasn't.
You're 10? Like 5th grade, 6th grade?
I think you're in 4th?
5th. 10 years old, I think, is 5th. Maybe depending.
Well,
Yeah.
kindergarten is
Yeah.
you're 5 years old. 6, 7, 8, 9,
5 or
10.
6.
Yeah.
About 6,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I started too.
Yeah. I was pretty young.
Yeah.
And was really surprised that I got it. And I was probably one of the first in my class of the girls to get it.
Mm-hmm.
My boobs grew early. I was one of the first to have a bra. I don't know. And I don't know if that plays into it. Like, if you have your period early, but I really don't know that much about it, that part. But I know I early
You had to
developed.
pave the way for your peers.
I did. Brush them along. Everybody, yeah. And it was funny because, you know, I'm my Italian background.
Yes.
And I remember getting my first bra, and my mom told one of my great aunts, her name was Zia Maria. Everyone has, like all Italian families have like their Zia.
Everyone
Zia
has a
Maria.
Zia Maria.
They all know
Yeah.
the Zia Maria. She's, you know, quite. She had a heavy fist and a big heart, but so her son was a pain in the butt, but he was kind of a jerk to her. But anyways, so my mom in Italian was saying, "Oh, Sophia's got, you know, she got a new bra, blah 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 blah," and she goes, "Really?" And then she literally grabbed my shirt and looked down into my shirt, and I'm like,
What?
"Zia," and then she gave me $20.
Oh, okay.
That's
You're like,
They're
she's
just
like, just
bribing
look.
you.
I don't know, like they're just so happy that I got it, and
Yeah,
I
it's womanhood.
it's a
It's like
celebration,
a little
yes.
step into womanhood.
which was kind of funny, but
Yeah, I
I'll
know.
never forget that.
I
she
bet.
should have put $20 in each cup.
Yeah, no, yes.
Come on now.
Well, back then we didn't really have like the training bras we had were terrible. If you remember,
they
were
really
just
do anything.
they were just
a
like
strap.
Yeah, they were just like a little
just-
material, like a
Yeah.
little square or like a triangle,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a triangle
it's
with a strap,
terrible.
Yeah.
with a string.
And now here the girls have like full on.
There are
Padded.
way too
Yeah.
many options for the girl
way
today.
too many options. Yes.
It's really so it's sexualized them a lot
Yeah.
more than
Yeah. Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
Mhm. I don't like that.
So my Zia Maria did that to me. But anyway,
God bless her. Wait, she's still alive?
No,
Oh,
she's
sorry.
not.
Okay, then yes, God bless her.
God bless her.
I mean, God rest her soul. Anyway.
Oh, but we'll never forget Zia Maria.
Aw.
But anyways, so and then just going through my womanhood things,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have Kyle until I was 40,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a hard time conceiving,
Mm-hmm.
so I had to go on hormones for that,
Mm.
and so I had to gave myself shots.
Oh, you did the shots too.
I did the shots
did
too.
shots too.
Ooh.
I only had to do one set to get pregnant with Kyle, which
Oh,
was
wow.
really unbelievable.
That's great.
Yeah. So I think I had 4 or 5 follicles that were growing. And then I got the turkey baster where they cleaned the sperm and got rid of all those
Junk. Yep. The,
ones
the
that go-
non-viable ones.
Well, the ones that go in the little I would just could imagine
The
them like,
tweakers.
motility.
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 Yes.
And, I could just imagine the sperm just basically having a twitch and kind of going in circles. They can't penetrate the egg.
Sophie was over here looking like she's having a seizure
Sure.
or something, trying to demonstrate the sperm.
Yep.
They just go around in circles chasing their tail.
They
That's
do.
what I
Literally,
imagine.
yeah.
Chasing
they
their
do.
tail.
Yeah. So we don't want any of those. So thank God I got a good one.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Got a
We
baby.
I got a good baby. So when Kyle was born, then we tried to get pregnant for another one, and and I tried to do the shots, I think twice, and it didn't work for many reasons. But and you know what, once you kind of accept the fact,
Yeah.
there's not going to be another one. It's okay. I have a perfect one, which, and I felt like he was just so perfect. And I knew if I had another one, you know how the second one's always like,
Yeah. Totally different.
totally different because it's a different human.
Right.
But I mean, Kyle slept through the night. He was just so,
Like happy-go-lucky.
he was a happy baby. He was just so easy to be around. So I was totally happy with having one, but I was sad about it. So there is a mourning about it. So just to be honest.
Right.
And so I started, when I think I was in my mid 40s, my period started going awry. Like I was having big blood clots. I was having a lot, like I couldn't even, I couldn't even wear a tampon or anything. It would literally bleed right through it within an hour. It was so bad. They think that I had fibroids when I was pregnant with Kyle, so they think that the fibroids probably came back. But it was terrible. It was a bloody mess. It was a mess.
Yeah,
it was
a bloodbath.
No, sorry. It was a bloodbath in more than one way. So about 2 years later, I got the IUD, which eventually stopped the periods after about a year. So, so I've had it since 2018, 2019, I think, 2018, but the night sweats, I didn't realize how irritable I was. My anxiety through the roof. My God. Hot flashes. I mean, they're real.
Yeah.
They are super real. And I have a reel about you.
Oh,
Heather,
a real
having a hot flash. And yes, I have it. I have the video of it.
She took a recording of me
stripping,
looking at my best, sitting at her dining room table. Oh, I can hardly wait.
It's on camera. Dun, dun, dun.
And I was looking at my best that day too. Not. Whatever. Just go ahead and plaster it all over social media. That's fine.
Don't you worry.
You know what? I don't even care anymore.
Sophie's like,
shit. She looks like a mad scientist over here.
I'm plotting.
Now, wait a minute. When are you saying, so are you saying that doing these hormone treatments caused you to go into...
No. I had an IUD in.
Oh, that's what caused...
No, the IUD was helpful because it stopped my periods.
Oh, okay.
But after I got that, then I started, and it wasn't because of it. I think it was just age. But then the hot flashes and being hot all the time. I'm always hot.
Yeah.
I boil over all the time. Like, I'm hot right now.
You know what? That's true. Ever since I've known you, you've always...
Yeah, you've always been warm on the hotter side of things.
Yeah, you guys are both wearing sweatshirts and hats. And I'm like,
what is wrong with you bitches?
I know, I'm like, I need to put deodorant on twice in one day. I'm like, I'm a mess. Like, don't put me in humidity. I think I will melt.
You can't move to the south. You will not make it.
Oh, no. So, and then I went to my gynecologist, and I actually talked to my doctor as well. And we talked about it, and she's like, oh, just go on Primera or Primera, like the over-the-counter stuff. And it helped originally. So I tried it for... it seemed to help, and then I would still get little bouts of it, but it regulated it a little bit. But it's not for long term, to be quite honest. It was really helpful. So if you're struggling today, just go get it and try it, because it will help
balance you out a little bit while you're trying to figure out what your next steps are versus using it as a long-term solution.
Yeah, it's not a long-term solution.
And this is just your own experience.
Yes,
not any type of medical advice or anything like that.
But this is what I did. So it's right. You're right. It's just
you never
my
know. You never. I mean, everything. It's worth trying if you're suffering.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
this
or if
isn't
you
over
feel
the
like
counter.
you're
Yeah.
It's over the counter, right?
Yeah. And my sister tried it. My sister tried it, and it worked for her. And there is a time where it goes and comes and goes in waves. So she tried it. It helped. So then she went off of it. So she says she's not using it anymore. But she's like, oh, I'm starting to get it again. So it does come and go.
Sure.
But you do get to a point where I found I was getting is that the night sweats was real. Like, my chest was completely soaking wet. I'm putting out, like, I'm pulling off covers.
Yeah.
I'm like literally going, oh my God, stop this heat. And I would just be wet. Like, it's the weirdest thing. You're like, it's a cold, like, it's cold
sweat. Yeah.
But you're hot.
But I'm hot.
Yeah.
Clammy almost, like,
Yeah, but my chest would be soaking, like, really wet.
Like
dripping. Like, you would
could
think
take a towel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
And uncomfortable. And
it is. And you lose sleep because you're waking up every hour dealing with this.
I know.
At least me.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
we
did
all,
too.
everybody's a little bit different, but it's kind of the same general.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So my doctor tried to so I complained about it again, and then she tried to get me on the oral estrogen pill. My insurance would not approve it at all. And
that's
it
a
just,
whole nother.
the whole insurance thing is really sad.
They don't really cover anything that has to do with menopause.
No,
it's ridiculous.
No, I don't know why. And I know that there's a lot of people. I mean, you can look it up on the internet. There's a lot of people that talk about menopause and the effects of it and what you need to do about it and how you can help yourself, and even losing weight is different now. Like,
drastically different.
Yeah, you can't just go on keto and lose 10 pounds anymore. You need you need to have protein and you need carbs. Like, you need both. Like, you can't. I can never.
Used to be cutting out carbs.
Yeah.
Was the quick, easy way to drop weight.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, you reduce carbs, but you still need your carbs. And so you lose weight differently. You need muscle. You need your protein.
You carry weight differently.
You carry weight.
Like, some
Hello.
people carry weight in their front, like, but I carried weight more towards like my belly button down. Then I had my hysterectomy, and all of a sudden I now carry weight above my belly button. So, and that is how, without the hysterectomy, that is what I've read and watched blogs on, is that women hit menopause and all of a sudden it like resets, and what used to work doesn't work anymore. And it's juggled, carrying your weight in a different way. And so then it's like, well, how do I get rid of it in this new way? It's all like really confusing.
Yeah. And there's a lot of information, and I'm happy. Like, there's another like podcasts about, perimenopause, and, I know a lot of people do patches. And then it's even important that even after you hit menopause, so you're done through and you don't have your period for a year, there is studies out there saying that you still need your hormones. You need those hormones to stay healthy, because the reduction in estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone actually have a huge effect on your health and longevity.
I've read that too.
And there are a lot of women that are not doing that. They got through it and they thought they were done. But so I'm just learning a lot. So there's a lot of information. So do your research and do what's best for you. But I did a video last month on Instagram of my experience getting my pellets. So when I finally learned a little bit more, and I was on Facebook, and I actually saw the ad for this Lumira medical spa that I go to in Portland. And they were actually showing a toilet that has like lasers that help your hoo-ha, like your like incontinence. I don't even know what it was, but it got me interested. I'm like, and then I started reading it. There was this whole special toilet with lasers in it. I was like,
down the rabbit hole.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
What is this?
Can it tighten everything down there?
It's a 2-for-1.
It's a twofer. It's a twofer. So I decided to talk to so they have an OB on staff. It's her practice, and it's a private practice. So, they have other kind of beauty and other type of regenerative.
Yeah, like enhancements.
Yeah, making
like
enhancements in your hoo-ha. And
Yeah.
they make it tighter and younger, and they also can make it much more moist and soluble.
Because that's actually a huge problem in menopause, perimenopause, and menopause, is that you get dry. You go all of a sudden from like, more moist or whatever whatever words you want to use, and then all of a sudden they kind of start hitting it, and everything goes super dry, and then it becomes like sandpaper.
Yeah.
So they have
Owie.
Well, that's why lubrication is very important, and it's very important to get good lubrication, because that goes inside your body, and you need healthy, safe stuff to go inside. And ladies, remember that they do expire.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does it like curdle?
It can curdle inside you if you want to try.
That is an image.
we are going to have someone come on and talk about that. So that will be good. Yeah. But so there's that lubrication thing. Anyway, so when I saw her Facebook page, I ended up filling out a form, free consultation or whatever. So I went in and she's like, well, we'll do blood work and we'll make your next appointment. It was just a consultation. So she did my blood work on everything. And when I looked it up afterwards and I posted it on that reel, but my testosterone was 8.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
So
is that low?
It was super low, right?
It was super low.
Yeah.
For someone who's going through perimenopause, it's supposed to be in the teens.
Oh.
Mine is now over 100.
What?
Yeah.
So is it too
Is that
much?
too high
no.
now?
Oh, no, and that's fine.
Oh.
So at minimum, it wants it in the teens.
Well, when if you're perimenopause,
yeah,
you're like in the teens.
Sure.
I was 8, which is postmenopause.
Oh, gotcha.
I was
gotcha.
in my.
You were testing out at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my estradiol, which is your estrogen, was extremely low as well. I think it was 38. I put it on my Instagram. I should have read it before I came on. But, and that was 8, and now it's doubled.
Yeah.
So, and again, that number was huge, and it was actually menopause numbers.
Wow.
So, and that was, and it fluctuates. So I know it could have been maybe a little bit higher if I went another day or what have you.
Oh, sure.
But still, it was bad.
God, I feel like mine is probably in the negative. If there's such a thing, the way I feel right now, does it go into the negative?
I don't think it does, but
It
anyways,
could go into the lows.
Yeah.
It goes to 0.
You were pretty low.
I was pretty low.
Okay.
So what she does, and it's in the video, is that she actually inserts and she can change the measurements of all 3 hormones. And they're just little rice pellets. And it gets put underneath your skin on your top of your butt.
Like your low back, top butt.
Like in the fatty tissue of your butt. And it's just, she doesn't even stitch it. She just bandages it up and you go on you're on your way. I mean, it literally took 3 minutes from like putting the pillows between my legs to sitting up.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take very long, and the pain is minimal. Like I was just a little bit uncomfortable on that particular part of my cheek, on my butt cheek. But I got lots of
a little extra padding in there.
Little extra padding in there.
I shouldn't have one problem at all.
Certainly won't.
But I noticed. I remember I was. I just felt like a different person. Like
how many days do you think it takes to start feeling a difference? It's not like immediate, is it?
No, it's not immediate, but it's soon, like a week or 2.
I felt like you were calmer and less anxious and a little bit less like irritable in your sense of irritability within about a week. Yeah. I remember you saying you got it the first time, and then we saw you about a week later.
Yeah. And
you just seemed like really calm and collected a little bit more than the feelings you had had before.
And I was the irritation. Like I like my son and I have a great relationship. He's preteen now, so he's a little bit, it's harder to
harder to gauge.
Yeah. He, as much as I'm going through hormone changes, he is going through hormone changes in the different direction.
Yes.
Oh my God. So, but I found I was snapping at him. Mom, can I just do it yourself? Like I was just being awful to him.
Salty.
Like my shirt.
Look at your shirt. She's ready for Cinco de Mayo, guys. She has a cute salty shirt on with a margarita on it.
So anyways, the irritability was awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah. Yep.
And I was just a bitch on wheels. And it just made me think, my God, how do these women who are, even, career minded, but like women, like, why isn't there that many CEOs of companies and so forth? Mm-hmm. There's all these men in their 50s and 60s, with these, C-level titles, and these women. I mean, I couldn't imagine going through perimenopause and running, a big company. Like it just those types of things was starting to go.
That too. I'm like,
And
oh
there's
my
there's a
God.
reason.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a real reason that women are suffering, and this is a 10-year.
Yeah.
Like this runs for 10 years. Ladies, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And nobody talks about it. It's not recognized in at a workplace. Like you're just considered a bitch, and that's it.
Or emotional.
Or you're
Or
not
emotional.
performing.
Yeah.
Or you're
Or
not
too
performing.
sensitive.
Yep, all
or-
those things.
Yeah.
It is so awful, and it happens for 10 years, and there's nothing that is recognized or helpful for us, like other than us trying to find our own way through.
There is a bigger push in the last couple of years, I feel like, since COVID, because more people didn't have anything to do, so they started sharing like their real lives. But prior to all of that, there hasn't been a big push.
I agree. I do feel like I've heard more about it
Than
in the
we
last
did
couple
before.
years than ever.
Yeah. But it's still like, if you think about it, it's hard enough for us to get attention as like women or moms.
Oh,
I mean,
God,
think
don't
of,
even
like,
get into
No,
that.
but
I know.
But that's what I'm saying. In that form, which is years prior to perimenopause, let alone going through perimenopause and menopause, it's just there needs to be more of like a female movement. Like we're getting together in one cause and creating a movement, because I just don't see it happening any other way. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, great that some companies have like changed one of their, meeting rooms into a mother's nursing room.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great. But everybody knows when you're walking around with your little machine
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you hide it too, or you have
Yeah.
to book that room. I think
Yes.
where
Yeah.
I worked, you have to book it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Me
Okay.
too.
Yeah.
Whoever
I remember.
came up with that idea was a man.
Yes.
Well, it was. I mean, yes, it was nice to have the space, but I always felt uncomfortable using it. It wasn't
yeah.
like.
It was kind of,
I always worried that someone was going to walk in on me,
Yeah.
even though there was a locking door and there was like a couch and a lamp, like you could turn the overhead light off, and there was like, they tried to make it semi-homey
it's
or
like
whatever.
if the door
And
is
then-
locked, you already know that somebody's in there
Well, that's
nursing.
just
And if
it.
there's somebody outside the door and you're walking out the door, then clearly you're
Yeah.
the person nursing.
And
It's
if there's
not-
a chart on the door, they can look and see who's in there. Jeez,
It's true.
Come on.
Wow, Heather's really lactating a lot this week.
And then you had to leave your little milk pouches in the little refrigerator in there.
Oh.
Oh man, what we have to go through. Us
I know,
work-
but even from a work perspective, having the time off, and I know a lot of companies are now offering the same type of
Sure.
for the men, which is great.
yes,
But and then going back to work after 3 or 4 months because you don't get paid after that. It's just
right.
like another ridiculous thing. In Canada and a lot of other countries around the world, they give mothers a year.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I have
gosh,
heard
Guaranteed
really?
12 months. Yeah.
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 And you would think about that, like, and this is what I always thought when I was going through it. I always thought, why wouldn't companies take advantage of allowing a parent to have that 1 year, and within that year they could hire somebody? So instead of doing a 3-month temp, which is never really work, by the 3 months that person could be fully trained. They can handle the rest of the year, and maybe they would be hireable for another position.
But yeah, kind of like recycling
But
the leadership.
but it also keeps people employed.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
What just like?
And now after COVID, how many people could you train, and how your person, she could be home with her child and also work from home, because we've all realized we don't technically need to work in a building per se.
I know there's so many things that need to change, and I know it gets political and all that sort of stuff, but I don't know. We're still behind in some things. I mean, we have, the right to vote, but we are still not getting paid equally. I mean, I can name off a whole bunch of things, and I know I'm trying to be, I don't want to be that political, but I do believe in that we're not being recognized as women, because we have, our bodies do different things. We have different.
I think it brings it down to like basic human.
Yes.
Like, we're not just men, we're not just women, but we're all humans. Let's bring it down to basic human level. And you know, there are men who are less manly than other men and vice versa on the other spectrum. None of that matters. Like, bring it back down to human. There's things men can do, women can't, and women can do that men can't. So instead of looking at it as like these different little pockets of, you know, real masculinity or real feministic, which, you know, all are okay, kind of, let's like even drop it down to a level lower, and we're all human beings. We all deserve human being rights, you know, all those kinds of things. I think we would get much further if we could, you know, base it off of just human to human versus male or female.
Yeah.
But of course it doesn't work that way.
No. Well, they
Or at
try
least
to,
here.
and then,
I mean, I wonder about other countries, actually. I feel like some are better than others, but
yeah, some countries, I mean, Australia, I know, for women, they even have a female prime minister, don't they? And they, I think that whole thing is just different, and we just need to make changes here eventually, and it's just really too bad because, and the thing this is stemming from for me is that it blows my mind that we're going to go through this for 10 years.
yeah.
And
Deep breath.
and there's people who can't afford, you know,
Yeah. The pellets
The
or
pellets.
hormone therapy.
Right. That's
or,
just it. Some people just suffer, you know?
yeah, and it's,
I feel like it should just be, and I get that birth control has its own issues, but I think it should be just as available as birth control, or like when you're trying to have a baby and you need assistance, like all of that should kind of be encompassed into like one big category of women's health. So we're looking at this not just from like before we plan to have babies to all the way when we're done and into menopause or after menopause. I mean, it's just crazy.
yeah, this whole thing is crazy. And it just kind of opened my eyes to it, and then reading and learning more about the effects of your hormones, and because I was, you know, I'm going through a whole thing with, you know, being diagnosed, or I'm going through being diagnosed with dyslexia, and when I talked to a psychologist, he said that the focus is a problem, and it's all estrogen related.
It's
Estrogen
connected.
estrogen regulates your cognitive thinking. And if you don't have enough estrogen, you're not processing things the same anymore. Heather?
No wonder I can't make a decision or, concentrate.
I wish I had maybe known that information before, because when I was trying to get pregnant, I actually had to take estrogen. I had these like estrogen pills that I took vaginally and to get into my system. And I've always had extremely low estrogen, and I've also been ADD for a long time. And so it would have been, had I known that information, I would have been able to like, when I'm inserting estrogen pills, been able to track and see how I felt and how focused or unfocused I was.
Right.
But
yeah, it's really interesting. And I don't, so there is a connection between perimenopause and some of these neurodiverse issues, which I'm coming to terms with and learning more about right now.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other journey for me. But, you know, basically I've been getting these pellets. I've got my second one. So the last one lasted about 4 months. I started getting warm in bed. And that's, you know, that was kind of the turning point for me. It's expensive. It's not cheap. Insurance won't cover it.
But your insurance company might cover like the lab work it
They do
takes
cover the lab
to
work.
yeah, so don't just think that, oh my gosh, insurance won't cover any of it. Your insurance company might actually cover the lab work and all the prep work it takes to get to deciding whether you want a cream or a prescription or or the pellet. But and I think, I mean, out of all this crappy situation with hormones, I am grateful for that piece of them being willing to cover the lab stuff.
Yeah.
Piece of it.
Yeah. So, but I'm glad I'm doing this. I feel completely different. I'm, focus is still a hard thing sometimes, and but there's other related issues as well. So I'm dealing with it. I'm figuring it out, but it is a big deal, and I feel like wiser now. But getting wise,
like you don't know what you don't know.
No.
I mean,
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had zero. I just knew hot flashes, kind of losing your memory, and you get, the night sweats. I didn't really know too much about. I didn't really know too much about other than your vag get dry. Your dry vag.
Yeah.
That's another one. They say.
And a whole another
Well, and
topic.
I don't think you've had this one, but I know weight gain is a big
Oh,
one
I
for a
had some
lot of
weight gain,
women.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't personally see it in you. But yes,
I had you could just I had whatchamacallit. This is another problem, memory.
Oh, what are some other problems?
It is memory. I got distracted. So
talking about weight.
weight gain.
Yeah.
So I have that Fit It Index
Oh,
scale.
Yeah.
And I had great lean muscle. I had my skeletal, like I had all of this, all pretty good. I was, my metabolical age was only 1 or 2 years older than I was, whatever.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden, my fat went up like 10 pounds in like a matter of a week. Like,
Yeah, that's
I was
what
like,
they say.
Wait,
what happened? And my protein went down, my muscle mass went down, and even the weight of my bones, my bone weight went down by a pound.
Whoa.
Oh, well, that's a lot.
And it just
Your bone density.
my bone density, it completely changed everything.
Now, is this a test that?
This is just a scale you buy online.
Oh, it's a type
Yeah,
of a
it's
I have an
like weight
app on my
scale.
phone.
Oh,
And you
Oh,
should see
that's
it like
cool.
from one day to, and like it was like a 2-week period, and then I weighed myself. I don't like weighing myself because I don't like weighing myself.
Sure.
I weigh every 2 weeks now.
they
But-
say you're not supposed to every day.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I've been doing more protein, so I've been doing more of the macro. My calories are still up there, but I have more of a 30% between
Sure.
my carbs, fat, and
Protein.
I'm losing about a half a pound a week.
Oh wow.
I think that's huge is that, everybody can try all these weight loss programs, pills, whatever. But in the core piece of all, the drive or what gets you stuck is your hormones. If you can't level out your hormones, you can lose weight, but you'll probably gain it right back. So if you level out your hormones, you're more likely to be more successful overall. Because it's telling you, like in the lab work, it's showing what's going to work for you and not.
And I've always been, thinnish. I'm
Sure.
not I'm overweight, but I'm not like been tremendously overweight. But I've had lots of muscle.
Yeah.
And I lost that muscle. I lost all that muscle. And, but doing the whole protein and trying to eat, it's hard to eat a lot of protein. Holy cow.
I'm not very good at that.
Yeah, it's so much. It has made a difference. And there's been a few people on Instagram that I've been following, and they have some really good advice and so forth. And we can share that, share those ones. That some of the people that we are connected with on Instagram on our page, but I don't know. I feel I feel different. I'm definitely,
on the road to recovery.
On the road to
Yeah.
recovery.
Yeah.
I need to, I want to feel better. I don't.
Me too.
And my anxiety, as much as I do have anxiety, it has subsided a little bit, even though I go through a lot of stress. And my arthritis and my hands feel better.
Well, yeah,
And
that's
that's the other one.
That's the other part about when you were talking about how it's like hormone therapy is good for you even after you're balanced out in your normal levels. I was just actually listening to something a couple weeks ago where they were saying inflammation, joint pain, arthritis, like even heart disease over time, even after you've passed menopause, all of those numbers were getting healthier and healthier as women were using hormone therapy even after they had already hit menopause. And that could be a game changer.
I know. I think I'm going to be on hormones for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I don't think I have a choice.
Yeah.
I don't want to age.
Yeah.
I'm not going to age gracefully. I'm not going to age. Fuck it. Who says it's aging gracefully? Shit. I'm not going to age.
Somebody who gracefully aged, but but it's true. Like, you know, we all have our different ways of qualifying what makes us age gracefully or not. But
I'm going to kick and scream the whole way. There's no grace in that.
Yep.
I'll be right there with you.
You and
I am not liking this aging process one bit.
No. And you're going to do
I
something
still-
about it. You're going to do something about it.
And I forgot about, actually, not to add more problems to my list, but yeah, I was complaining a lot about the arthritis piece and the inflammation.
I was realizing that just
Yes.
this, it kind of dawned on me that, because I usually used to wake up in the mornings and my feet would hurt. Like I couldn't even stand. Like I would walk like a
Penguin.
penguin because I couldn't move my toes because they hurt. And
That's it, due to inflammation.
it's inflammation and arthritis, and even my hands, the arthritis, like because I've got nodules and everything in my hands. I'm hoping that it's stopped.
Yeah.
You know, because it is feeling better. Like some of
That's
it's still-
huge.
but it was like all my knuckles hurt.
Yeah. I mean, it's better to feel better than like nothing at all. So even if it gives you a little bit of support or helps a little bit, I mean, we could take all the help we could get at this point in time.
I know. Fuck green gracefully. I tell ya, I'm done with that.
Amen.
I've reversed time.
Oh, she's...
I'm reversing time.
Her pellet has become a
Yes.
time machine.
Oh,
Right in my ass. Give it to me again, Doc. Another 20 years. Gone.
I love it.
Whatever helps, though. I mean, seriously.
Even if it's just in my head. You got a placebo.
Placebo.
Oh, yeah. It's not just in your head. Because
I
we're
know.
around you all the time.
Yeah.
And every time you're like, oh, I feel better. I feel like I feel like you're better.
I
and
feel
you
better.
feel better.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
and you're next. So,
Oh, I'm next in line
Yep.
to back my ass up.
Beep,
beep. I got that backup beeper on. Don't you worry.
Everyone will be so much happier.
Oh boy, isn't that the truth?
I mean, if you like really think about it, if there's something there that can help you even you out, like just how much of a better quality of life. I mean, life's stressful, it is.
Right.
So if you can like help yourself, I
Yeah.
think that's a game changer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Can hardly wait.
Neither can we.
Us too.
Shit. I've just been existing. I'm tired of this shit, man.
I know.
So
You're going to get through it.
Yeah,
You're going to get
well,
through it.
We always get through it.
And we're going to see you on the other side of this. And you're going to be telling your story.
Well, we'll
you
be
guys
going
are-
through it with you.
Yeah, you guys are lucky you don't have any injuries from me. Oh, man. I am a nice person at heart, but
You are
shit.
a wonderful person, even
Yes.
through this. But you're
All
going
right.
to get through it. And this is the
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Dear Lord. Okay. Well, thank you, Sofie, for telling us all this background information. It's very helpful. It's really good. A lot of good detail. And there'll be a lot more to come, everyone.
Yeah.
This just goes along with our theme of stories. We've got us real women, real friends with real stories.
Yeah.
And, you know, we have a lot of dating stories and stuff, but we've got these kind of stories too. So it's important to get the word out there and talk about how we feel and what we're going through. So hopefully it'll
not all-
speak to somebody out there. Yeah.
And just do your research. Take a look. There's so much more out there now. And I think do something for yourself. It will make a huge difference. Like if you're struggling at home with your spouse or your kids and you just feel like you're going to lose your fucking shit.
Yeah. It may not be you.
It
It
may
just
not
might
be you.
be like the imbalance in
It
you,
is
and
huge.
and you're not alone and you're not by yourself. There's, we all go through it. The hard part is that a lot of women go through it by themselves, and we're going through it all, with the three of us along with our actual friends. But to actually talk about it and, like you said, do the work and pick something. It may not be the right thing the first time, but the fact that you're actually doing something about it instead of just sitting around.
That is huge right there.
It's huge. We all pick things. Pick something. If it doesn't work, then move to the next thing and try some things.
But taking some sort of action rather than no action
action.
is, take it from me.
Yeah, and
It's
yeah,
huge.
and
Yeah.
I think if you're finding you're getting irritable and you're in your 40s and you don't know why you can't keep your shit together anymore, check your hormones.
Yeah.
Or your mid-30s. I started in my mid-30s.
It's a lot of women
there's a lot of
do.
women.
Very good point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it tends to run, not always, but I've heard that it tends to run. Like if you started your period earlier, you tend to have a lot of these issues earlier than, much later on in
Probably the
life.
reason why I couldn't
Yeah.
conceive without help.
Yeah. And so
And sperm.
well,
The tweakers.
the tweakers, but it all runs together. So try something, like read something, educate yourself, and try something. And if you think you have a friend who's going through the same thing, like you and your friend tag team, so you know that you're not feeling like you're doing it by yourself.
Yeah. Very good. All right, ladies. Very good information. Thank you so much, Sofie. And
welcome.
until next time, everyone.
Bye.
Happy
Bye.
Wine
Yes,
Wednesday. Cheers.
Hey guys, just a reminder, this podcast is presented solely for entertainment and educational purposes. We are just friends, me, Amy, and Heather. We're not qualified professionals. This is not intended to replace any professional physician, doctor, medical advice, or what have you. We are just friends talking about our experiences and just want to make sure that you take the healthy route and be safe and happy. Love you.
All right. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We really appreciate you listening to us, and we look forward to hanging out with you next Wednesday. Please join us. And in the meantime, please follow us on Instagram at The Real Exes Portland. Also, we would love to hear from you and hear some of your juicy stories. You can email us your stories at rxop.yourstory@gmail.com. Until next week, bye.